Good afternoon, Superintendent Kamek, Board Trustees, esteemed guests, and last but not least, my amazing Glanker staff. My name is Angela Marario, and I'm the very proud principal of Glanker Early Learning Center, and now Rick's Glanker Early Learning Center. I would like to begin this afternoon by taking you on a short trip down memory lane to share my recollections of the journey that has brought us here today. When I took the helm as principal of Glanker Early Learning Center in July 2013, the site was already enrolled beyond its capacity. In fact, during the first year, we conducted 2 satellite classes at Grimmer Elementary on the opposite side of town. Our program continued to grow over the next 3 years, and we had to eventually expand to a 3rd school site, Mission San Jose Elementary. While our students continued to receive high quality, specialized academic instruction and related support services, it was a frustration to me as the administrator that the precious time my specialists could have used working directly with students was spent on travel from site to site. 3 years later, in November 2016, the Fremont Unified School District Board of Education authorized the purchase of one of its former campuses, Timothy Ricks. At that time, Ricks was owned by Cadengo, which had been using the facility to provide preschool programs primarily to low-income families. My staff and I were very excited about the prospect of having a building that would house all Glanker programs on a single site, and that was already functioning as a preschool. With minor updating of the facility, it would soon be move-in ready, or so we thought. Once we were able to tour the facility, however, my staff and I realized that while Rick's had been functioning as a preschool, it lacked many features needed to adequately serve our preschoolers with special needs. We were then asked to form a committee of teachers, specialists, and classified staff to identify the essential features that were lacking. The lead architect and district staff actively listened to our concerns and drew up plans based on our recommendations. In the meantime, Glanker Early Learning Center continued to grow. Each year, we found ourselves scrambling to find any open classroom across the school district to expand our program. Due to declining enrollment at Blackout Elementary, however, we eventually found a home away from home for our students. By June 2022, we were operating 7 preschool programs at Blackout Elementary and 1 at the adult school campus. Our support staff continued to travel to provide services to students at our satellite campuses, but they were at least closer in proximity to our main campus on Sundale Drive. So that brings us to this afternoon. And I'm very happy to share that with the completion of Rick's Glanker Early Learning Center, we are now able to bring all of our satellite programs onto one campus, with enough room to also house our specialists, who will no longer need to spend their time on travel, but instead will be able to focus their time on serving students. Rick's Glanker Early Learning Center will also allow for the future expansion of our programs so that we may serve Fremont's ever-growing population of preschool-age students with special needs. In addition, we will house 2 state preschool classes on the Ricks campus, taught by general education teachers who understand the importance of and support educating children in the least restrictive environment. We are looking forward to partnering with them to provide more inclusive learning opportunities for our students in the very near future. In closing, I would be remiss if I did not publicly thank the following people. First and foremost, I would like to thank our current FUSD school board trustees for approving the multiple requests for the additional funding required to see this project to its completion. I would like to thank the principal of Lakeout Elementary, Mr. Jose Hernandez, who graciously welcomed my staff and students onto his campus and has helped support our programs for the last few years. I would like to thank Robin Surt, Director of Elementary Education, who has always been and continues to be there to support me and my staff in so many ways during this journey. Lastly, I would like to thank the closer, as I refer to him, I'm looking for him, Mr. Nick Ampon, FUSD Senior Project Manager. He inherited this project late in the game, but he has been the one constant in the past several months, and he was instrumental in getting the job done. On Wednesday, we will open the Glanker campus to nearly 100 students. Everyone involved in this project should be proud that working collaboratively, we now have a beautiful, newly renovated early learning center that will meet the needs of our current students as well as future students, or guppies, as we call them, for years to come. Thank you very much. Now it is my sincere privilege and honor to introduce the Superintendent of Fremont Unified School District, Mr. C.J. Kamen.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the great introduction remarks. And as principal of Glanker, thank you for your flexibility, for the ability that you've shown in recent years to manage multiple sites, all in the service of our children. So thank you for your leadership. Today, I want to also echo my gratitude to the staff that is here today. I think we all recognize that we come to work in the field of education in the service of children, in the service of the community. And while this is their site, we recognize that the amount of time you spend here may make it feel a little bit like your home. And we recognize that in that, you're also the heartbeat of the facility. Certificated and classified staff. It's the staff here that will continue to make things possible for our students. So thank you, staff, for being here today. It's my pleasure to also introduce our distinguished guests. We will start with our school board members from Fremont Unified School District. We're joined today by Board President Diane Jones, Board Vice President Vivek Prasad, Board Trustee Larry Sweeney, Board Trustee Yajing Zhang, and Board Trustee Desiree Campbell was unable to be with us today due to another conflict, but we know how important this event was for her, and she would have wanted to be here to see this site opened up as well. I'm now going to move to introduce our distinguished guests from the city. And we want to thank the city for their collaboration in this project throughout the many years that we've been working to open the facility. We've had a lot of communication, a lot of collaboration with city staff. And we want to start by introducing Lily May, Mayor of the City of Fremont, Vice Mayor Teresa Kang, Fremont City Council Member Dr. Yang Chow, and Fremont City Council Member Rick Jones. And this work also happens in light of the efforts of our staff. And today with us up front, we have some distinguished guests that we want to recognize. Starting locally at the school site, Assistant Principal Charlene Sim. And we heard the fantastic work of Nick Ampon earlier. We're also joined by two of our assistant superintendents, Mr. Zach Larson for Human Resources, and Assistant Superintendent of Instructional Services, Leticia Salinas. Moving on to some more recognition to the people who can do the work that our education staff can't on a school site, and that is our architects, our contractors, and our construction managers. So for our architects, we're joined today by Carlos Amran, Project Manager from SVA Architects. And we also want to recognize Cal Pacific Construction and CB Management Group for their support and work towards the completion of this project. Thank you very much. In ending my remarks and getting to our other guests and ultimately to the ribbon cutting, I want to thank everybody who's been a part of getting us to where we are today. I recall being hired in August of 2020, and what a time that was to come into a new city and a new school district. And I remember making my first visit to this campus and seeing the amount of work that was in front of us. And we knew the destination, we knew where we were going. We weren't certain yet when we crossed that finish line, but we knew we would get there. And I think as you heard earlier, this was an example of the Board of Trustees, the city, and many organizations working together to identify a way that we can better serve our students, to better serve our staff. And while we did have some delays and some adjustments, I think the return on our investment for our students on this project is immense. And that is ultimately what we're looking at, is what's best for our students. And we are so excited to see them in this facility in just 2 more days, but who's counting? So with that, again, thank you everybody for your attendance here today, and I will turn it over to our board president, Diane Jones.
Well, thank you everybody and welcome. And I know we heard a little bit about the history, but I'm going to fill in a little bit more about this site. This site operated from 1980 to 1989 as the Timothy Ricks Elementary School, and it was operated by Kidango after that for quite a while. And in October of 2016, we entered negotiations to reacquire the site because we knew we needed more space for this program. And in May of 2019, the board voted to rename this site the Ricks Glanker Early Learning Center. And as we've heard, it was a long road to get here, but we're finally here for this day, and I'm very excited to be here. This site will serve as a valuable resource for our youngest learners and those who need special services. This site fosters a positive growth and learning experience that allows each child to succeed. We have early intervention programs for children birth to age 3 who are visually impaired or blind, deaf or hard of hearing, and who have orthopedic needs. This is a collaborative program with the State of California Children's Services, Federal and State Preschool Enrichment Program, and Alameda County Head Start. We operate special day classes, including inclusion classes with Head Start, classes for preschoolers with autism, and classes for preschoolers with mild, moderate, or severe disabilities. We can also provide speech and language services, behavioral support, and occupational therapy here. And I know I have a family member who needed these kinds of services, not in this area, but I know how very important these early services are to the students and families who need them. And it is really fantastic to have a facility that is worthy of the students and the staff who will be serving them here. And I'm just grateful for all the work that has gone in and the staff that is going to be incredible serving our students. I remember visiting Lake Cow, and let's just say that was a creative use of space. I think when I visited, there were classes that were happening on the stage at that site. So it is just fantastic to have a site that will really serve these students in the way that they deserve to be served, and to provide staff with the opportunity to be at one site and not have to travel any longer, so that your valuable time and energy can go directly to our students. Thank Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Jones. Don't go far because we're going to need to entrust you with the scissors. And so at this time, what we're going to ask is for our distinguished guests here at the front of the stage to come up to the ribbon. President Jones, if you can maybe hold down the middle and take the center stage there in front of the ribbon. We'll ask our guests to align on either side of President Jones. We'll make
Somebody with that something.